Hey guys, Alex here with Armadillo Armament. Today, we're taking another look at the T-Rex Arms Raptor holster. Now, previously, I had a review of this holster on my channel for the Glock 45. Go definitely take a look at that. I talk about the clips and the wing attachment and how there are some incremental things we would like to see improved. Well, I'm here today with really good news. Not only did they, make a couple very small improvements, but they made the holster worse. So I get the opportunity to shit on T-Rex arms a little bit more because I am furious right now and I just wasted another $90 on a holster and I will be getting a refund in the next couple minutes here. So, quick overview of this. T-Rex Arms Raptor, the T-Rex Arms became obviously very popular for their sidecar style holsters. That being said, they do make these more simple designs because not everyone wants to carry a massive holster on the right and then a mag on the left, or vice versa, depending on your hand orientation. Um, and a lot of people want a much more simple design, especially for something like a 43X, which is a smaller firearm. You definitely don't want to be carrying this massive IWB setup, at least in my opinion. That's just me. I have my massive holsters too, but for something like this, I want it to be much smaller. This as an example. So that's where the Raptor comes into play. And T-Rex Arms as a company, they proudly parrot around that they test their gear and they're real shooters, right? My first review was very critical of that because they say they're real shooters, but they had a monoblock on it and their side wing, which was terrible. The monoblock is genuinely going to get you killed. A lot of people say that, oh, if you don't have night vision, you're going to get killed in the streets. If you don't have a plate carrier, you're going to get killed. If you don't have a $4,000 rifle, you're going to get killed. That's all hyperbole. The monoblock in my prior review, that will legitimately get you killed. Please, God, don't use it. The wing on the side was also really terrible, and then I just had a couple of other minor critiques. Well, here's the new holster, and I was very excited because I saw online that they made improvements, and I just kind of assumed it would fix all my problems. First of all, we do have metal clips now, which I'll be speaking about. Second of all, this wing is actually really good. I'll get into this. And third of all, it looks a little bit different. The contour looks slightly different, at least in my perception, compared to my Glock 45 version. So I figured this 43X would actually maybe be able to utilize this holster a lot better. Well, I should have known better. I should have known that the guys at T-Rex Arms have absolutely no clue what they're doing. Sure, they may be shooters, and they're saying that, oh, well, all of our products go through extensive R&D, so we're only going to make something, we're only going to release it once it's gone through, years of testing, which has shown time and time again to be absolutely bullshit. So let's take a look at this holster. Well, like I said, we do have a different clip design. Let's talk about these clips. Pros and cons, I'm not going to rip into them too much here, but these do not have the underhooks like DCC clips do. Is that a deal breaker? Well, it does have pros and cons. First of all, it's not going to mount nearly as secure on your belt, but it's not nearly as much of a hassle to put on. So, you know what? I can give that and I can take it. Now, if you look at something like this right here, this does have a little underhook. And now these are a lot thicker than metal, and a lot of people prefer metal, but it does have a little bit of an underhook, which is an advantage. One of my first huge complaints I have is going to be these rubber spacers. I know what you're thinking, Alex, that's such a minor thing. It's not minor, because I'm going to show you something right now. Do you see this? It, is this acceptable? Like, this is cinched down super hard. Is this acceptable? This is as tightened down as I could possibly get it, and I've moved around the orientation. And when it is sitting in your pants, it is just going to shift back and forth constantly. In fact, when I put this in my pants, and I'll be showing you guys videos throughout this video, when I put this in my pants, the left hook here, because of this ridiculously stupid cant that they have in the holster, this left hook just like sits out and doesn't even fully engage the entire time. This one's normally fine. This one doesn't engage at all because of this crazy cant. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, in their marketing, they talk about how this can either be a strong side kind of holster, like a 4 or 5 o'clock holster, which no one really does anymore. Like I guess some boomers do, but for the most part, we're appendix carrying. It is just kind of the superior carrying option. But they specifically market this not just for those people where that can't would make sense realistically, but for appendix carry people. And this can't in the holster completely makes this unusable because this clip is not going to make adequate just like tension, adequate contact with your belt. Once again, I'll be putting a video on the screen right now. Now, because this is flipping back and forth, obviously that is going to make your draw absolutely terrible. You have to guess where your holster is in your pants, and that metal clip is just going to be jetting out of your belt and printing more than the actual firearm. Now, I do want to give them a little bit of credit, and that's going to be this wing. This wing design is actually really intelligent. This screw you loosen, and then you can move this wing up and down, and then also up and down. So actually, I prefer this over things like the LAS wing and the Tenacore wing, and I am very happy with this. If I could put this on other holsters, which I may be able to, yeah, you probably could. You could take that off and put it on like a Tenacore, I think. Honestly, I consider this a really good upgrade, but it doesn't matter because this stupid freaking rubber grommet here completely ruins the entire holster. And these things aren't nearly secure enough, right? So it is just a compounding issue thing where when we take a look at much cheaper holsters, this is a Vetter Light Tuck. I previously talked about this, and I really don't like this holster. I think it's kind of shitty. But this Vetter Light Tuck is a significantly better holster because the clip is perfectly in line. There's no crazy rubber grommets that are standing that out a lot, and it doesn't move at all. Like if I put a lot of pressure, I can move the tiniest bit, but I'm not going to rip it. But I can move it a tiny bit. But these guys, look, one hand. Yep. Now let's go back. Like this, this is just unacceptable. It really is. Um, the Tenacore holster, or not the Tenacore, the T-Rex Arms holster does have a really good click in it. For some reason, they do that better than probably any other holster manufacturer. It makes a really nice positive click. But it doesn't matter because they have no idea what they're doing and they keep innovating on products and making new products without actually vetting them. And, like, I seriously, whoever was in charge of the R&D for this, it must have passed between a couple of different people, management, and then of course a like quality control phase and a testing phase, an evaluation phase. And I've seen their breakdowns of like MTXs and ARs and the Jackal, right? They did like a $10,000 breakdown, and that new PSA Saber, whatever the hell that thing's called, the M110 clone, and they're putting $10,000 10,000 rounds down the pipe to test these things out, but they're not willing to test their own freaking products, right? And I want to get a lot more aggressive, but I'm not allowed to swear on YouTube. So all I'm just going to leave you guys with is this is a terrible design. I will be getting it refunded. I spoke with their customer service a couple minutes ago and requested a refund. I also stated I didn't want to pay for shipping because I don't think it's my fault. I think when they sell a negligent design that could potentially hurt you or other people, you shouldn't have to pay for shipping. You shouldn't have to pay consequences. And they did tell me that I will be paying shipping. So, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I'm just done with T-Rex Arms. I'm just never going to buy a single product from them ever again because they are just a like I can't even put into words just how like upsetting this was putting it in my pants and immediately knowing that it was going back because the designers behind this clearly have no freaking clue what they're doing. They just don't. And if Lucas was behind this, then Lucas, you should be ashamed. If some minimum wage dude was behind this, because I know they pay really shit over there, if some minimum wage dude was behind it, then you know what? Maybe try to do a little bit better. So. Guys, thanks for tuning into this channel. Don't buy this holster, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.